What's crack-a-lackin' people? Welcome back. It's your boy D, and this is D's Daily DD. As always, let me start off by saying I'm not a financial advisor. This is never financial advice, so don't take it as that. Take it for educational, entertainment purposes only, right? But I got you with the information. I know I haven't been too active on making videos, but I'm always researching. I'm always paying attention to what's going on. And when I feel like there is something that I need to talk about, I will make a video. So yeah, thanks guys, to the subscribers always for coming back, watching the videos. Today, I want to talk about some specific things. So I'll talk about three specific things. So the first one is going to be, I always told you guys I'm reading, researching, doing my DD. So the first thing is I'm going to talk about just chapter 1 of this book, Atomic Habits, which I think it has some good points. So some education there. The second thing is going to be that the second topic I'm going to talk about is AMC and the golden window that I see right now, the opportunity that we have at hand to make a good run, at least, if not the squeeze, but at least some type of movement. Okay. And I think it's going to be to the upside, in my opinion, right? Because of the signals and the data that I'm looking at right here. The third thing is going to be Lucid. Some good news came out on Lucid. So I will, relay that information to you, and why I continue to think of Lucid like in the long run. It's going to be a great stock in the long run, in my opinion. So yeah, guys, that's the information I'm going to talk about today. That's all I really got for the intro. So let's switch over, okay? All right, so let's start off with the first thing. Like I said, the first thing is going to be chapter 1, and I got a little summary going for y'all right here. Okay, Atomic Habits, chapter 1 summary. Habits compound over time. It's like compounding interest. Habits can be good or bad, but they do compound. You could think of it like interest, right? Compound interest. You're compounding your money in a way. Your habits, your time. You got to decide what you're going to do with it, because it's going to play a role, of course, right, in the long run. So that's the first thing. And the next thing is, if you just improve yourself just 1% every day, just 1% better every day, it counts more than you think in the long run, because these tiny changes, it could be on the long trajectory, right? You can make these little tweaks, and it's going to depend whether you succeed or fail, or stay neutral. Next thing, so habits equals double-edged sword. The details are important. And this is all coming from the book, right? This is what I gathered from it. This is my summary. Start with small changes. Changes happen once you cross a certain threshold. There's a time limit, right? Because in the book, like, it talks about how when you start working out, right, you're not going to see results in the first week or anything, right? It's going to take some time. It's just like these small, you got to build a routine, a system that's going to get you to your goal that you want to get to. And then you will start to see, changes throughout after a certain amount of time. So there's the small changes. An atomic habit is small compared to a larger system. So your habits equals your system, which equals, if you're going to succeed or fail to reach your goals. Results come from your system, not your goals. That's very important. A lot of people love to set goals, but if you do not have a great system, something, consistent, you're probably not going to reach most of your goals. But, everyone's different. People fail because of their systems, right? So this is what the book is trying to explain, that you have to really think about your system and what you're doing on the day-to-day basis. So it gives you this little graph, I took from the book here too. So you have your results, and then you have time going this way. So this is comparing the 1% improvement and what can happen, and the 1% decline. All right. So if it was in graph mode, which, we love to talk about stocks, so you should be used to graphs and charts and all that. But if you just improve yourself 1%, this is what can happen, right? You start to see the results, and it can really take off, compared to if you don't improve yourself and you just stay stagnant. You could just see yourself, moving sideways for a while. But yeah, this is what can happen. You can become 37 times better just by, the compound habits that you got going on. So just wanted to summarize that. That's what I got from chapter 1 so far, right? So just wanted to point those things out. All right, next, let's talk about AMC a little bit. I know what you guys want to see. It's what I want to see, right? Why are we holding? So we can make some life-changing money. Now, life-changing money to me is not going to be that I can just, I don't think I'll be able to make enough money in AMC that I'll be able to retire and just, screw off for the rest of my life and just do whatever I want. That's not the way I've ever looked at this play. I have always looked at this play, in my opinion, like life-changing money as an opportunity, right? Because eventually I want to become an entrepreneur. I want to own different businesses. I want to go about that route. Okay, that's my plan, my journey. But I know what you guys want to see, right? You want to see the stock squeeze. Now, the reason I have this Fibonacci extension here is because, multiple people have pointed out in the last run that we had, before the split, like all that in June of 2021, when if you would have put the extension on this, it hit pretty much the top, right? It almost hit the top, the very top line before it started to come down the shorts, kind of controlled it, like attacked it, threw everything they had at it to stop it from squeezing up to unlimited, amounts or crazy amounts. But we do have the golden opportunity right now, guys. I see a window at least. With this triangle, this bit of time that we have here, it's coming to the end. And so far, I put this up a couple of days ago and it is tracking so far. Now we just don't want to lose this support level of around $5, $5.30 around there, because that level is important. It goes all the way back to before the run, and it has been bounced. It's shown strength and it's bounced off there. Even though it lost it, it came back, right? And it's around this price right here. But take into consideration the tools that you have to graph. If you're using charts, that's why there are these tools. Okay, so I know I'm just putting this as a visual, and I'm just going to kind of explain why I think this is possible, in the next few weeks. But this is the Fibonacci extension showing that it could go to about $200 before bouncing back and then consolidating. Now, I want to see this happen, before the vote or before any reverse stock split. I wouldn't want a reverse stock split to make the chart look like this and make it look like this is why it went up and stuff, right? Because I don't want to lose 90% of my shares and not be able to sell if this happens, in the future. Okay. But, what I'm looking at, the RSI is right where it was. If you take a look back here in the run right here, you see that it had this bounce up, came down before the major rip. Okay. So right here, it's going to come down, hopefully. And that's what I'm saying, the golden window right here. And then we can hopefully see that squeeze happen here soon, right? Because the data is insane. I'm going to show you some other things. But at least the data is pointing that the squeeze is very possible right now. That's what I think. But by Friday, what I do want to see is I want to see, us go above $6. There's a lot of contracts here, 70,000 contracts currently. If we go above $6, so that would put us at around 81,000 contracts that could land in the money just by us going above $6, which is very doable, very reachable. And we do have support by a couple of things. The SPY right now. I'm gonna talk about the SPY right now too. But 0 shares for days now, right? They just pop up and then they disappear. Still at around 97, 100% cost to borrow. And we do have potential here for gamma. Now, we would need, of course, some kind of rally, some kind of news, some kind of, bullish momentum to get these contracts in the money and get these puts out of the money, okay? But remember, there's been 0 shares for a minute, right? And this week, the highest strike is $12, but the big chunk, like I said, is around $6. So to me, anything above $6 would be a win if we close above $6 by Friday. Next, okay, the SPY. I'm on the daily chart here on the SPY. As you can see, we have the super trend. The green super trend is signaling it's buying, right? People are buying and it's starting to move up. You have this channel too that it's been in since back here, and it's working its way up. Now it's meeting resistance and it has bumped its head along here many times. But right now we have green candles that are signaling that we're going to make a move at least to around 410, 415. Okay. And it doesn't have to make sense because I know the economy is bad right now and all that. But, stocks like sometimes go the opposite way. Things could be looking bad and stocks go up, or things could be looking good and stocks go down. I've seen that multiple times in my trading experience. We could definitely see a rally here come up. And maybe that's from, from Jerome Powell saying, oh, we're only going to raise very, very few amounts this year of the interest rates. We don't know. He's going to speak next week and we'll have the new information next week. But that's what I want to see, right? In order for AMC to make its move, we would want to see, I think, the SPY pushing hard, causing a buying rally, causing, buying pressure, because that did happen back in June when AMC squeezed the first time. Okay, I don't have the dates right here, so I can't pinpoint right now which section it was, but it was a part where the SPY was going up, and that added pressure to the stock and the buying side. Okay, and I think that's why you saw AMC, also make that run back then. This is one of my favorite charts. This is the cost to borrow fee in chart form. This is still hanging out. This looks like a bull flag, and it looks like it could break out, right, if that cost to borrow continues to rise. But what I've said in the past videos is that I think when we see these cross, like when this starts to come down, the cost to borrow, the price will move up, because that would be the shorts being pushed out, right, and closing in buying shares, and that's going to bring the cost to borrow. So you would see the shares pop up, and you would see the price moving up as they would start to return those shares. So you have the 97% cost to borrow fee, right? And we have never, well, at least it's been a long time. I don't have the chart prior to this, but remember the cost of borrow fee was around 1%, 2% for the longest time, all the way until about June 22. And then we start to see it start to move up and down, right? And right now, it just, to me, it's like it's there. The opportunity, the golden window is, the golden window is there, because the cost of borrow fee is insane and hasn't been like that in a long time. Now, again, in the past videos, guys, like that's why I'm just relying on this data right now. I'm looking at this data. This was prior, again, the squeeze in June, when you had the FTDs constantly, right, moving up, bouncing around throughout the price line. And then finally we get the squeeze, right? And then what happens after? After, that run, you start to see the FTDs calm down for the longest time, all the way up until here. So until June 6, 2022, we crossed back over, right? So we crossed back over. This day there was almost 10 million shares, FTDs on AMC. And then it comes back down, and now here we are crossing again, So it's just a matter of time, in my opinion, before we start to see a squeeze, right? A run, which I think it's right here, right? Look, it's been a few months now of just the same patterns or the same actions that happened here that I see happening right now, current time. So I am expecting a golden window. And again, the FTDs, 1 million, 2 million per day, right? 1 million, 3 million, which is exactly what happened prior to the AMC squeeze in June of 2021, right? In May in 2021, June. Okay. So you saw those FTDs pile up and that's how we, I think, made our move. It just became too much. So next, ape 2, 10 million on the 27th. Remember, the news of Antera Capital was announced on the 22nd. So it was like a weekend situation and a holiday. So they created those, in my opinion, in that same time frame. When the buying pressure came in from Antera, there was 10 million shares that failed to deliver. Okay. Just looking at the AMC chart right now, I want to see it break this resistance. I'm on the 4-hour here. You can see that we got a cross, and we need momentum to break above this moving average. And that's what's going to send us to the next window here. Like last time I had this one drawn out, we tapped it before getting brought back down. But now we're starting to see the cross again. So you would want to see the green line go above and the yellow line go under. That way, we can see the momentum shift, and you see the bullish action that can cause us to make a move to the upside. RSI's down too, so that would be a perfect time for it to continue up. Let me go to the daily. I've had this, and we all know the master trend line, the resistance here. It's tapping it and tapping it. So that's why I'm here looking at this opportunity. And like I said, if we can break above $7, $8, $10, I could see a big run happening, just because of the cost to borrow, the 0 shares, and so on, right? The RSI is in a good spot again. I like where it's at, and it's forming this around the same pattern, right? So you see it tap the top, it comes down before it rips to the upside, and then it goes all the way from, let's see, 53. The highest it's been is 96 on the RSI, right? So that's what I've had drawn out. That's what I'm just patiently waiting, guys. That's why I'm not making a video every day, because Right now, I'm patiently waiting to, see if we can get this break, and it would be a technical breakout, and then it's on, in my opinion. The shares, have gone up on loan, short interest, 116 million. This was at 113 million. You can check my past videos. I talk about this often. 22% short interest. And the reason I think that happened is because the options chain last week, remember, it was loaded. So they had to do everything they could to stop a gamma squeeze. And they shorted 3 million more shares on top of the 113 million. So we're sitting at 116 million. But I want to remind you that, there hasn't been 3 million shares available, not that I've seen, to borrow. So how did they take those from 113 to 116 million when you just get like 50,000, right? When there's 0 shares to borrow for days and days, and I'm gonna prove that to you right there, for days, that they're able to still short, 8 million shares per day, 11 million shares per day, 11 million shares per day, 19 million shares per day. How are they doing that, right? It's incredible. Over here, so this is the borrowed shares for days, guys. I mean, the 10th 0, the 9th 0. Some popped up early, but they were gone, remember? So I don't see any millions of shares here. 450,000. Okay, 1 million on the 6th, January 6th. But how did they take it from 113 million to 116 million short shares, right? So that's what I'm paying attention to, the data on AMC. Next, let's just recap, talk about Lucid real quick. I'm going long. I'm just holding these strong. I'm trying to accumulate. I feel like if you don't accumulate, you're going to lose right now, because there's just been some massive, downfalls, and there's been some good deals, in my opinion, out there for stocks. And Lucid, I think, is one of them. So shares of Lucid have struggled a lot lately. Yeah, we know. A lot of bad news, but, I think electric cars are the future. So the reason I like this right now is because Citi Analyst resumed coverage on Lucid ticker with a buy rating target of $12 for the price. This bullish call was helping shares Lucid gain 9.1% on Monday, 8.54% in the S&P 500. The Dow Jones Industrial rose about 0.9%. So because of this $12 price target, Lucid went up a little bit. And right now I'm on the daily, and you can see that it's got a green super trend, and it's been pushing to the upside. So hopefully it can continue, right, throughout the next few months, right? At least get back to, this range where it was trading pretty heavily, around $13 to $17. But I'm still just, when I can, I buy these, and I just store them, right? I stash them, and I'm going to hold on to those. So that's all I got for you guys in today's video. Thank you so much for coming by. I appreciate you. Hopefully this information was helpful, and I hope to catch you in the next video. Peace out.